views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. You have Let's Talk Football with Jack and Rick. He's Rick. I'm Jack. And last week, I didn't know Jack.
Folks, he didn't know Jack. I had a great week. We'll talk about it as we get into the show, but let's, how you want to start this show this week? Talking about what?
Let's talk about
the positives coming up, or the what happened last week?
Last week, my picks were not good. I was 9-8, and here's a messed up thing. I only
9-7, 16 games.
Well,
don't give yourself another loss. Or were you 8-8? Or were you 8-8?
No, the tie doesn't count, so
okay.
I didn't count. The problem is, so I just picked straight up money line, and I still couldn't get that right. Whereas Rick goes by the points. He goes by the points. You know, he's a true bettor. Me, a couple dollars here and there. No, but
it was a good week.
For you?
I mean, you know, as we talked about, I picked some tough games. I mean, I had Kansas City when many people had Baltimore.
I had Baltimore, too.
Yeah, I know. And then I had Green Bay when you had New Orleans. Green Bay kicked their ass. I had Seattle. Those were the three top games, you know, in my opinion. The other games, there's so many bad games last week that, you know, just throwing some thoughts out there. But, you know, and the Steelers, my four top teams that I bet on last week, who I have a lot of confidence in: Steelers, Seattle, Green Bay, Kansas City, and I like Tampa Bay. They're on the move. And, of course, New England, how'd they fare against those great Raiders?
So, like you said,
Raiders, folks, no way they were going to beat New England in New England.
Like you said, they had an answer for Waller, and he had
great defense.
Two catch for 12 yards. You know, you see the mind of Belichick
Unbelievable.
At work.
I was so impressed. Two things really stood out before we get into the picks this week. That's the past, but we like to analyze a little bit what we did. We always look at it. But
that's the only way we can get better.
Yeah, the two things stood out to me. I knew New England would have a game plan for the beautiful Raiders of Las Vegas. You fans love them. I love them too, but again, I play to win, and I knew New England. That was easy money right there, real easy money. So the way that they played that defense and did shut down Waller, and the Raiders had no answer once they shut down Waller, because it was confusing, because Carr, that's his main guy. That's like when Brady would lose Gronk, he had to find other guys, and he was so good he did, but Carr isn't that good. So he didn't adjust, and he got flustered. That stood out to me. Also, what stood out to me was the comeback by the Rams down by 25 to come roaring back and get homered. They should have won the game. The game is on the line, 4th and 9. Buffalo got the ball, and pass interference, which was not pass interference. They lose that game. I couldn't believe it.
They should have swallowed their whistle.
They should have swallowed their whistle. Absolutely.
You don't make that call.
It wasn't even. It was hand fighting, which was pretty much. Well, maybe it went from the 5 yards to the 6 yards. You can hand fight for 5 yards. Oh, maybe it went a little past that, but that was not flagrant. And I'm still disgusted about it, because that cost me money. Number one. I had the Rams. I thought I had the game won.
I thought they were.
And kudos to Josh Allen for that drive coming back, because he had a 3rd and 22 up the field, and he completed that pass on 3rd and 22. That's really the Rams' mistake there. But that play on the goal line, don't end a game like that. I mean,
no.
That's disgusting to me. That's when I hate being a gambler. So I don't know how you folks ended up, but I'm a big Buffalo fan, but I really thought the Rams were going to win that game. And they didn't, and it kind of bothers me, because Buffalo was favored by 2 and they won by 3. That was really in the big game. It was really my big beat, but everything else was good. But I loved. I thought it was a great week of football.
Yeah. So speaking of that, since we're in the great state of New York,
oh my God,
let's talk about Oh my gosh, I
What do you
still
want to
can't
talk
really.
about other than Buffalo?
Oh, the Thursday night football.
Where's your Jets jersey Mark Sanchez loved last week? The Jets hat.
I
Can
couldn't.
you folks believe that he wore that stuff? You want to talk about eating crow?
Well, first
I mean,
of all-
I stood up and ate crow last week for a couple bad plays, which you won't see many more by me over the course of the year because I'll get better and better.
For wearing that jersey
follow us.
alone, I should have ate crow because first of all,
I thought sure I was going to see a Giants jersey today with Phil Simms' name on it. I mean, or somebody other than the New York Jets.
First of all, because I wore green, our producer was like, "Oh, I guess I didn't want to show up in the picture this week because obviously for that alone." And then of course now, it looked like our initial bet about
Our initial bet was a slam dunk.
Buffalo 3-0,
I got that
New
truck
York
full of beer out there that
0-3.
you're never going to get because I'm going to take your money and your beers. I mean, what did I predict? Let's go through that again. Buffalo would win more games this year
Than the New York
Jets
and
the
Giants
Giants together,
combined.
collectively.
So right now, 0-6 for both New York
Against
teams.
3-0. Good luck, my friend. You sure you don't want to change that bet? By the way, why are you wearing red this week? Is that for the Atlanta Falcons or who are you for this? What's the symbolism behind the red this week? Come on. What is it? There has to be some type of football symbolism behind the red.
It matched
Me,
my-
I just wear whatever I wear.
It matched
I got no team.
It matched my shoe.
Okay, it matched your shoes. That's good. Well, you look very sporty in your Nike gear. Okay, no symbolism. I thought sure it was the Atlanta Falcons are coming alive or something. I don't know.
I have my doubts, but we'll see. Sorry, Thursday night football. As bad as this pick is, we have 2 0-3 teams. Who are you going for?
Oh, my goodness.
It's right now. I want to say it's probably even.
Who do you like?
Um,
I'm gonna let you go
I have
first
to.
on this
I have
one.
to go Homer. I'm hoping our Jets can get a win this week.
You're going with the Jets?
Yes. Sam Darnold has to show up this week. I have to.
Boy, Denver, neither team is any good. I have to tell you, it's just so tough. Thursday night, it's a 1 point. Denver's favored by 1. Is that correct? Is that what you're telling me?
Nah, last I checked,
Let me see.
It actually went
Up a
even. It became a
It
pick 'em.
went even now?
Yes, it's a pick 'em. So,
I'm going to go with your Jets this week.
oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go
Let
with
me
you.
call Sam.
I'm gonna
Sam
go-
Darnold,
Yeah.
show up for Rick since you haven't been showing up for
I've
me.
been a USC fan all my life, and I wish he would show up because I'm feeling pitiful for you about this thing. And the Jets, Denver and the Jets. Let's move on. We're both going Jets. What a joke!
Okay, so then let's.
Terrible Thursday night game, by the way. They play these great. In a moment, let me get on the soapbox. They have these great games on Sunday night and Monday nights, and every Thursday we got to watch this slop for the third, fourth week in a row. It's friggin' ridiculous. The games
To
they
introduce
got.
us to football for the week.
Oh my God, I can't stand it. I'd rather watch paint dry on the wall.
So-
I'm telling you, I'd rather watch grass grow. But I don't like these Thursday night games.
They're horrible.
Horrible.
I'm-
Horrible.
Despite watching my team this week, I'm gonna say that.
Horrible. Let me say it one last time. Horrible.
Okay, so
On to Sunday.
let's stay again in New York. Let's go Giants with Rams.
Rams easily. Rams.
They're giving the Rams 12 points. You gonna take
the
that?
Rams are giving 12 points.
Or-
They're
yeah,
giving the
they're-
Giants 12 points.
Uh-huh.
The Rams are going to kill them. But that's a big pick. Make that bet. There's really a good parlay bet here this week. There's a lot of teams that are going to destroy other teams because they're actually a little mad about what happened. The Rams are one of them. The Giants are in for a long game at the Rams. 12, shoot, they'll win by 21 or more. Bet the Rams and put a little extra money on it.
And unfortunately, I have to go with you with that one.
Why, unfortunately?
With no Barkley,
The Rams are going to win.
they become a one-trick pony, and they're gonna shut down the passing game. I'm gonna go with Rams.
Yo, that's a great bet. Easiest bet you'll ever have.
Okay, what
Bet the
about
Rams.
Texans Vikings? Both 0-4.
Texans
Or
are gonna win.
0-3. So you're gonna have another 0-4 team after this week.
Yeah, and it's going to be the Vikings. The Texans are at home, and they are not a happy team. They are much better than how they've been playing. Watson's going to show up. Their defense is going to play well. The Vikings look hapless to me. I don't know what happened to them. Their defense isn't even any good anymore. The Vikings are, I don't know if it's about the conditions they play in now, but the Vikings look terrible. The
What
Texans
conditions? Like they have a great
you
team.
know, all the what I mean, the conditions
paper?
being all this testing you have to do, these masks, all the things that.
But what about every other team's going through the
But
same
some
thing?
teams mentally look like in the bubble. The NBA was Milwaukee mentally into what they were doing there. That team never mentally got into it. So I'm a believer that it's the way you're coached. You know, a team like Seattle and Pete Carroll, he got his guys always pumped up. But the outside forces really can hurt a team, and I believe that there's something wrong with the Vikings. Maybe it's a weak locker room, a weak coach. I don't know.
Or
they've always had a pretty good coach.
Or the inconsistent quarterback that now you can see why Washington refused to pay him all that money.
Cousins, what Minnesota did, they paid him a whole lot of money, and he was good last year. You know, so many times, and you've mentioned this, it comes down to offensive line. I don't care how good you are. If you don't have the line, you're not going to win.
No.
You know, you got to have a good offensive line.
You have to.
You really do. Particularly now, these guys are speed rushers. Everybody brings these smaller linebackers they're playing. They blitz so much off the corners with cornerbacks. Teams are so fast now, on defensively, and it's really the way the game has gone. It's the trend now to have fast, smaller guys on defense, and the teams that can master that are the ones that are winning. I look at Pittsburgh's defense. I love those guys. They are fast and athletic.
I'm going to go Texans on this. I'll pick Texans.
There's no other pick, folks.
And this is right now it's because they're two 0-3 teams. It's a pick 'em as far as points wise. I'll take the Texans. I just think they're going to have more heart to get over that hump. And I've been saying every week, when is J.J. Watt going to show up? And with this O-line, I think he might have to.
He's been hurt. He's been hurt all the time. He's really healthy anymore.
Okay, so then let's go back to Indianapolis and Chicago.
Man, can you believe the Bears are 3-0?
No.
Can you believe that
No.
Foles was going to take over that job? Of course he was going to take over that job.
Because he was a better quarterback in Philadelphia. It's just the fact it's pride why he left. Because if Peterson took his pride out of it, knowing all they gave up to get
Wentz to
get Wentz to go down in the draft to go up in the draft, I should say. That's why Foles left out of pride, because they're like, I'm not going to admit to my mistake. Foles needed time.
Foles,
and Foles,
he's a gutsy quarterback that knows how to win. And again, if you protect him, and Philadelphia doesn't have a good line. He got knocked down several times when he made some good plays. Foles is a gutsy quarterback. Trubisky, I have no love for the man. On the sports field, I don't know anything about his personal life, but sports-wise, I think he's a horrible quarterback. Horrible.
Do you think Nick is going to be overly confident because now he's a starter?
No, he's a simple dude. Nick Foles is a good dude, a good quarterback, but I think Indianapolis is going to win the game. I believe that the Bears are going to have loss number one, and I also believe that they're going to lose, and they're going to lose big. I definitely will take Indianapolis. Who are you going to take?
Unfortunately, and I seem like I've been saying with the last couple, I like Rivers in this game.
I do too.
He's got more protection now
the system.
In Indy, and getting used to the system, and not having to do too much.
Yeah, I also like him. So we're together there. What you got next?
I got Jacksonville's and Cincinnati. Cincinnati 0-2-1.
What a horrible game. Another horrible game. Let's just quickly say who we're going to pick. I don't even
Cincinnati.
want to
Cincinnati's giving Jacksonville 3. So,
yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go with Cincy.
I am also. I just don't like that Jacksonville team at all.
I think they're gonna get their first win this week.
Yeah, I hope so. They're working hard, and the kid's getting better. Burrow's getting better.
He is. You've seen his progression from week to week, and now it's just getting him over the hump, and I think he's going to get that win and that confidence.
And he's got a couple good receivers there. Green's really good, you know.
Absolutely.
And he's been able to find him, so I like Cincy.
He's got Green and he's got Tyler Boyd. So
Yeah.
and Tyler Boyd's supposed to be in that number 1 slot with Green, and Green is a good mentor for a wide receiver. So I Cincinnati's my pick.
Okay, agreed.
Cleveland Brown against Dallas.
Two more dog teams. Well, you know, there are some great teams
Dallas
in the
4.5.
NFL, but some bad teams. Dallas 4.5. Wow. Boy, I'm going to go with Dallas. Again, I hate these dog games. I like working on the games where you know the teams are good and it's going to be a good battle. And
But-
the true handicap and the ability comes out in the big games. These games here, just throw them against the wall
But
and see what friggin' sticks. I'm going to go with Dallas.
I'm gonna go with Dallas only the fact that,
Given 4.5.
but Dallas defense is not there for some reason.
Nothing
they haven't
is
showed
there
up.
for
They
Dallas.
haven't showed up this week. But they have the ability to score. But with a light defense like that, I can see Cleveland keeping up.
You know, Cleveland has the potential. That's the thing about it.
On paper,
but
absolutely.
You got Baker Mayfield, you know. He
Odell
eventually he's
Beckham
going to make
Jr.
a mistake.
You have,
Eventually he's going to make a mistake in a game, and he's going to hurt you.
But they also have the running game too.
They got a great running game. They got two great running backs.
Yes.
Two great running backs. I mean, you know, you got Chubb and Hunt.
Yes.
Two great running backs.
Which
Chubb and
actually-
Hunt are both great running backs. As good as any combination in the NFL.
Actually, Hunt's getting a little bit more touches this
He's a fine
so
player.
far. So that's one of my running backs to look out for this week. If you're gonna start him, that's one of the running backs to start. Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, he's good.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, and Chubb is also good. I like their running game. I really do.
Okay, let's move on to the one and two, Detroit and New Orleans Saints at Detroit. -4 for New Orleans.
I'll take New Orleans straight up. They're due to have a good game. They're not happy. Detroit, they got a win last week, you know, against an average football team. You know, I just think that New Orleans is due to have a big game. I'm going to go with New Orleans and give the points on the road.
On the road,
I'm
and
definitely going to go with them.
I'm actually going to go with the coach, despite them not being on the field. But I think Matt Patricia is going to get out-coached this week. So I'm going to go
What
with New
else
Orleans.
is new? A lot of agreement so far,
Yeah,
but they're easy games.
these are easy. We have Pittsburgh -2 against Tennessee.
3-0, 3-0.
The running game and Big Ben in a decent position right now. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I'll take Pittsburgh and the defense.
You're going to give 2 on the road to Tennessee.
Yes.
I agree with you.
And then guess what?
Pittsburgh is one of my teams. I mean,
So
I like Pittsburgh. I'm a big Pittsburgh fan. I love that team this year. I think they got Super Bowl intentions.
on another note, right now this game is actually postponed because of COVID.
Yeah, it is
COVID.
postponed. We'll get it probably in the middle of the week. Postponed. That's right. COVID in Tennessee. 3 players and 5 staff.
You know what they should have done? This should look like a good Thursday night football game.
Yeah. Maybe the next Thursday night. But they're going to be behind the rest of the teams because that game is postponed. And
Maybe a Tuesday.
But when it gets played, I love
Maybe
Pittsburgh.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that's what they're talking. Tuesday. They're allowed back in the facility, Tennessee, but on Saturday. And they said they need a couple days of practice. So they'll practice Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They can play on Tuesday. And they're the home team. So I think it's going to be played on Tuesday. They're not going to let these NFL games drag the way baseball did. The team's not playing for over a week.
No.
So they're not going to allow that to happen.
Seattle,
Unless there's a really bad problem.
Yeah. Seattle, Miami. Seattle 3-0.
-6.
-6. That's actually.
Seattle big.
You think
Seattle's one of my teams.
Fitzmagic can keep up with Russell?
Fitzmagic had a big game. He was really popping off too, boy. He's a passionate guy. I like that guy. What is he, about 36, 37? How old is he? 105?
I don't
How
know.
old is
The beard looked like
The beard, man.
looked like he looked like a wizard on that field last week, didn't he?
He was good, and he was talking about, you know, the beard and, you know, Minshew only having the mustache, and he said that Minshew only had a mustache because he couldn't grow facial hair. And Minshew was, well, I'm not going to say anything. I respect my elders, was his answer. So the jab back. That's what he said. That was pregame. So the old man showed Minshew what it was about. Minshew looked terrible, by the way. I don't think he's a legitimate NFL quarterback. He's done okay, but NFL, they watch film. The more and more film they watch on a guy, particularly like him, they learn their tendencies. And he's not one that's going to learn to adjust to his problematic things and his tendencies. And I don't think the guy's ever going to be great. That's my personal opinion.
With Minshew, I think it's
nothing against him, but that's just football.
Like Cinderella, the clock's going to strike midnight, and it's going to go back to
bye-bye.
Who he
Seattle
was.
wins big. That's an easy game for them after the tough games they've been playing. Seattle's had some tough games.
Chargers, Tampa Bay.
Oh, my God, Los Angeles Chargers. Tampa Bay at home. Again, wins big. Chargers look hapless to me. They played Kansas City tough, but the only reason they played them tough is because Kansas City's head wasn't in the game. Kansas City showed what they're about this week on Monday Night Football. They're the best.
So you know what I'm going to do?
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay and give the 7.
No, I'll take L.A.
You're going to take L.A.?
Yeah, I can't. We can't have the same picks. Well, Somebody has to be wrong.
It happens. You know, and the fact that you're doing the same stuff as me just means you're educated because I know what the hell I'm talking about.
well, I'm listening. Hey, I'm just listening to my elder.
You listened to me last week. You made big money. Yeah, thank you. I like that. There you go. See how quick? I like that. Ouch. He's listening to his elder. Son of a gun. Good for you, man. Let me check one up for you. Hey, 1-zip. We didn't get to our eat crow section yet, did we? Did we get to that?
Hey, no, I just didn't bring out the crow to eat.
Hey, there's our friend the crow.
But it's here.
Yeah, we got the barbecue ready. I can smell the coals.
Come on.
Is he going to show up today? There he is, our friend. Look at him.
Yeah.
A lot of bad picks for my friend. I think he was 8-8, not 9-8 the way he said or whatever. But anyways, you can't count the one game. That's true, but.
It's like every pick I was losing here.
Week.
Every
11-5. A lot of big wins. And if the Rams would have won, it really would have been a big week. But again, the game was stolen. Let's move on.
Baltimore, Washington.
Oh, my God.
-13.
What a terrible
for
Baltimore all day long. Baltimore wins this game probably by 35 points.
Is that your game of the week?
That is my game of the week. There's a couple games of the week so far. I mean, you got New Orleans, who's going to eat up Detroit. That's a pick of the week. That was my first pick of the week. And Baltimore against Washington, giving 13 points. That's also a pick of the week. But those are blowout games because New Orleans, good football team. Baltimore, good football team who lost last week. They are not happy people. And great teams and great coaches and great athletes. They come back from beats like that. They really do, and they come back in a big way. So that's an angle I always play, but put some special money that you've won, and if you took my picks last week, you got a lot of money in your pocket. So take it and bet it on the Saints and bet it on Baltimore. But yes, Baltimore, you're not taking Washington, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So
Baltimore wins big. Jackson will go off. Jackson will have an incredible game.
Redemption game.
Jackson, Ingram, that defense is who's really mad. That defense looked bad, and that's a good defense.
They got exposed.
Oh, my God. The game, again, Andy Reid, great coach. The offensive coordinator, great coach. Kansas City really embarrassed them. They could have won by more. They got a little sloppy in the third quarter. They got beat bad. Lamar Jackson looked terrible. Worst game he's ever had as a Baltimore quarterback.
Arizona, Carolina. Arizona, I'm sure Arizona would want last week's game back.
Arizona, big loss going into Carolina, who surprised me against the Chargers and had a nice win. Going on the road, Carolina.
Little Teddy Bridgewater.
They Matt Rule, the new coach, got his first win. College coach had a nice win for a college coach. It was a big week for him. I think that Carolina is going to repeat it. I think Carolina is going to have a big game again. I'm going to take the points. Arizona's favored by 3. I'm going to take Carolina.
I'm going to take Arizona.
Okay. I got your name down. Don't know Jack. Okay, there we go. I got it down. What else we got in this lousy football week? What matchups? There's really money to be made this week, I'm telling you.
Let's go New England and Kansas City.
At Kansas City.
At Kansas City, minus
That's a
7.
lot of points, -7.
That's a whole touchdown.
That's a lot of points. It really is against a well-coached New England team and a quickly improving Cam Newton.
I'm going to go New England.
Good. God bless. I'm going to go Kansas City, and they're going to continue on their winning ways. 7's a lot of points, but they're home, and they might be on a high from that big win against Baltimore. So you could very well be right on that game.
So you're telling me Bill Belichick won't have an answer for Patrick Mahomes?
I don't think so. I don't think there is an answer. You know what the answer to Patrick Mahomes is? What do you think the answer is to slowing them down? What is the answer?
Having two of the O-line getting hurt.
The answer really is pressure.
Yes.
Pressure in his face.
Because you can't.
The answer is pressure in his face. Any team that pressures him and makes him move quickly out of the pocket, the way you beat him is with pressure.
And they were not
But
giving
you
him
can't
pressure
pressure.
last week. Did you see that?
There
How
was no
long those
pressure.
guys were already in the end zone, ready for the ball
I never
before
seen
he
so many
threw
open
it.
guys. Kansas City has too many guys that can catch the football. They have 5 or 6, 5 for sure. And you know what? The kid out of LSU, Hilaire, he's fine running back for a rookie. He looked great, didn't he? And you know what's the funny thing is? When the NFL draft came out and they were picking all these running backs from college, I said, why is nobody picking this kid from LSU, Hilaire? He's a great player. And I couldn't believe it. And he was a 32 pick, number 32. And I said, man, that kid went way, way lower than he thought, but he has a chip on his shoulder. He should have been top 10. He's a great running back, and he will continue to prove it. But he's a great addition. He's a great addition to that team.
I've already.
You got him on your.
Nah, I didn't pick him. I didn't pick him
How
up.
you doing in fantasy, by the way?
I won last week. I scored a
Hey!
whopping 100
Congrats, my brother. You're going now.
Finally.
You've got some good players. What else we got? So we both got Kansas. No, you took New England. Okay.
I took New England.
Okay, that's 3 in a row we disagreed on.
What about Buffalo and Las Vegas? Buffalo 3-0. Josh Allen.
It's a tough coming west. It's really tough coming west. Oh, man. This is a tough game. You know, I'm going to go out on a limb this week, and man, Buffalo's favored by 3 at Raiders. Wow, this is tough. I'm going to ask you first who you're taking.
I'll take Raiders.
You're going to take Raiders. So for the fun of it, I'll take Buffalo.
Yeah. I actually have to walk around here.
I do too, but you know, nobody's threatened me because I didn't pick the Golden Knights to win, and that I've picked, the New England Patriots against the. Boy, what an easy win that was! That was easy money. You know, the Raiders aren't as good as people think they are, by the way. But I love them. Great town, great stadium, great players. We love them, but I'm from Buffalo, and for sentimental reasons on this one, I'm going to take Buffalo. 4 in a row.
San Francisco, Philadelphia. San Francisco has been on the East Coast for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. Can't wait to go home.
Jets, Giants, and now they're playing Philadelphia. So what do you think?
It's a -7 in Philly. I just think Philly is not a good football team. If you're at home and you're tying Cincinnati, man, I'm telling you, Philadelphia, I don't.
San
think they have
Francisco for
problems.
me. I'll take it.
I'm taking the Niners. I'll give the 7. Philadelphia is hapless.
And so this one is actually my my pick of the week. Our next one, Atlanta at Green Bay. Green Bay -7.
Monday Night Football, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Bay, another big number. There's a lot of big numbers this week, folks. There's a lot of big numbers, but a lot of people, I have friends that are great prognosticators who tell me if the total is ever over 7, bet the underdog. Bet the underdog. And you know what? I don't believe that. I'm going to take a lot of favorites here, given a lot of points this week. You got to really look at it and analyze it, but I'm going to have to agree Green Bay is one of the better teams in the NFL, and I think Green Bay is going to be the team. You too?
Yep. I'll take Green Bay. I just like how the way Rodgers is playing right now. He's really playing with a chip on his shoulder, and the fact that Adams is not in right now, and the team's still playing so well.
Yeah.
He
may play this week. They may.
But he doesn't even need to. But
he hasn't so far.
He just needs to stay.
Lazar's been a beast for a second-year player.
I picked him up. I actually left him on my bench this week because I didn't need him in.
Yeah.
And he's shown up and doing well.
The kid's playing well, very athletic.
Very athletic.
You know, when you play for Aaron Rodgers, if you do well and he starts to believe in you, he will throw to you. And I've seen him not throw to guys that drop the ball. And Aaron Rodgers there's no forgiveness with him. Either you play well or you don't. And if you don't, he does not throw the football to you. And he loves this kid. This is his go-to guy now. So I like Green Bay a lot. I mean, Green Bay, Seattle, you know, these are good teams. They don't have great defenses, but they're scoring a lot of points. You know, Kansas City, another one of the great teams. I love Pittsburgh. Tampa Bay's coming. New England, they're hovering. But there's a lot of good football to be had out there. I think the Rams had a tough loss the other week. They're a good football team. So, you know, we're giving a lot of points out this week, and we're hoping that the favorites win, and I believe they will. I'm not really hoping. That's what I feel about it. I don't need to hope about it. I feel educated about it. So I'm excited about this week. Last week was great. It's going to be tough to match that, but if you took a lot of my picks last week, you made a lot of money. It's about making the money, folks.
Well, for me, this is my redemption week.
Okay, I like that.
So I'm hoping to do way better than I did last week. A little bit on fantasy. Right now, I'm thinking that James Robinson, it's a play him. Connor, play him. And I said Kareem Hunt earlier. Watch out for Fournette. I think they're going to start running the ball more. Yes, they're going to run the ball. They're going to start running the ball more. I think the last couple of weeks, what they're doing is having confidence with the wide receivers. Then hopefully the running game now, and then eventually bring in the tight ends, because he hasn't been really throwing to the tight ends, which is crazy.
He's got two good tight ends.
Yes.
O.J. Howard is great. I personally think O.J. Howard at this point is better than Gronk.
I think so too.
I think O.J. Howard, Alabama kid, great in Alabama. I love O.J. Howard much more than I like Gronk.
Oh, it was irritating because I picked up O.J. Howard thinking that Gronk's a little bit inconsistent. He only shows up for the big plays, but O.J. Howard was gonna be the one to get the dinks and dunks that he likes to do, and I end up having to drop him.
Who's better than Mike Evans in the NFL? His other receiver. Mike Evans is great. What? Mike Evans, you don't think is good?
I think he's good, but I think
he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. The kid is good, man. Texas
What
A&M.
about Lockett?
Well, Lockett's good. You know, there's some good players out there. I mean, there's some great receivers. Like I say, Andre Hopkins is the best, but Mike Evans had a big week last week. Did you see some of those catches he made? Mike Evans is a fine receiver. And Tampa Bay's loaded at receiver, by the way. That's why the tight ends aren't getting the ball.
Also, look out for Nick Foles. I think he'll get this first start. You'll see. If you need a quarterback, I think he's a good pickup this week. I think the Bears can do something on the fantasy side. As far as them winning, I don't think so. So that's my little fantasy.
Who are you really looking at right now as fantasy picks? I mean, who's the guys that are just coming through for you, who are really doing a great job on your fantasy teams?
So I have, of course, Prescott. He's actually showing up for me. I have Cook from Minnesota, running back.
Cook.
He's showing up for me. For the most part, unfortunately, the defense in Minnesota, not so good.
Has not been there, and they've always been good.
And they've always had decent defense. So it's like 3 weeks ago, they ended up giving me -3 points. I'm like, come on, you're taking points from me. So, but Dak's been showing up for me consistently right now. I was a little bit reluctant to actually pick him up. I picked him up in the 4th round, so he's there.
Okay.
He's showing up for me right now.
Good luck this week. You had a good week last week, and there's a lot of guys putting up big prolific numbers. A lot of guys, and when you're looking at guys like Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, the way they're throwing the football, and of course Mahomes, and Brady's picking it up. Some of those quarterbacks are playing really well, but
Josh Allen surprised me.
Josh Allen, there's a great name you just brought up. He had a great game and a great comeback at the end. I'll give him credit. Bad call by the refs or not, he had a good game. There's some good quarterbacks right now, and Allen is impressing me. but nobody more so than Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson.
Same for me.
We good?
Yes, sir.
We give our fans enough information to be knowledgeable on who to pick this week?
I think so.
Anything else?
I think that's it. We'll wrap it up this week. Thanks for joining us this week, and hope to see you guys again next week. Like, subscribe.
Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, and listen, put some money on my games. You won't be sad. I'm picking it up now. I'm understanding this NFL, so follow our show because we are good at what we do and we take pride in it. And hey, once in a while we make a mistake like everybody. We're not gods on this thing, but we're pretty damn good. And my friend is great at it, and he don't know Jack, and he had to eat crow this week, but you know, we take turns with that. If you combine what we do, I think you're pretty successful. A lot of points going out this week.
Yes. I think you can. There are a few games that you can actually take the over because of, you know, some of the defenses not showing up.
Well, thanks for your time today, and thanks for your time today.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks to our producer, John.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you.
Good luck. Bet 'em up. Bet 'em up.